Where does USF go from here? They have to put this game behind them. It was ugly. 50-15. There cannot be a hangover next week. It is going to be a tall task, a noon start there in Louisiana against Tulane, your first conference matchup. You cannot let what happened tonight at Raymond James Stadium carry over to next week. You have to put this game behind you, and you got to focus full steam ahead on what's in front of you. So I look at a couple things. I look at the health of Byron Brown. It's paramount. He has to be healthy. The running game's got to get back on track next week. Not good enough from anybody. Teron Keith, Naquan Wright, Kelly Joyner, even Byron Brown himself. That has to improve. There's a lot of things that you want to put behind you. But if you want to look at one thing that was really good tonight, it was Byron Brown and Sean Atkins, and that chemistry was fantastic. We got to see more from these other guys. Hardiman seems like a guy that can make some big plays. I hope they get him more involved in the offense. Michael Brown-Stevens, it's just too many times with USF with this offense. We see their wideouts with one catch for 9 yards, one catch for 12 yards. It's one thing when you're spreading the football around because you have a lot of weapons and you're moving the football in the air, but you're not seeing that. Who is that second go-to option through the air behind Sean Atkins? I still think that USF is looking for that guy, another guy to step up. The pass rush needs to improve. You got to find a way to get to the quarterback. Not nearly good enough tonight against Cam Ward. He was unbothered all night long. He had a very, very easy time back there for the Hurricanes. That has to change when you get to conference play. Because as you saw tonight, that secondary really struggled. Really struggled. I mean, you have to work in concert, right? The pass rush has to help out the secondary and vice versa. But that secondary really, really had a tough time with those Miami receivers. It was an easy 50. It was an easy 50 points today. And then the secondary, the secondary has to be better. Those guys, whether it's tackling in space, whether it's covering these guys one-on-one, when you get that man-on-man assignment, the secondary has to improve. Finally, the kicking situation. Nico Gramatica, the first USF kicker ever to have two 50-plus yard field goals in the same game. John Cannon kicks a field goal, makes it, and then he misses another one. And him missing that field goal, him missing that 31-yard field goal tonight, right at the end of the first half, took all of the wind out of the sails of not just this USF football team, but the crowd at Raymond James Stadium. Alex Golesh said after the game, I asked him the question. I said, Coach, take me through the field goal situation and the kickers. And he says, nothing's going to change. Nico Gramatica is going to be the guy for the long kicks, but John Cannon is still our guy. Hey, I get it. I understand you want to stay with your guy. He's been your guy. And before tonight, he really didn't give you much of a reason not to have him in there. Well, I get that Coach Golesh is going to go back to the way it was, but what happens if Cannon misses another kick next week when you know you have an absolute phenom on the bench? This Bulls team, they're going to play some tight games in the conference, and every single one of those points is going to be valuable. Whatever happens with Gramatica or Cannon, there has to be a short leash for Cannon. I know he's your guy. I know he's a senior. You have a lot of faith. You have a lot of trust in him. But Nico Gramatica, once you turn the reins over to him, he's not giving them back until he gets drafted into the NFL. What we saw tonight is that add another Gramatica to the list. That kid is going to be playing on Sunday. No doubt about it.